Never underestimate a quiet mind, because silence is where the real wars are won. That's what they never understood about you, chosen one. While they were busy showing off, bragging, gossiping, and fighting for attention, you were calculating. You were studying their every move like a master strategist, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. They called you slow. They called you weird. Some even called you crazy, but they had no idea you were playing chess while they were still learning how to move their pawns. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one, a lion sitting in tall grass, unmoving while the hyenas circle around laughing. The lion doesn't roar, doesn't react. It observes. The fools mistake stillness for weakness until the lion stands up, and suddenly every sound in the jungle goes silent. That's you. You are the lion in the tall grass of life. Patient, strategic, silent, but when you move, everything changes. The reason people never see your power coming is because you never needed to announce it. Your mind is your greatest weapon, and the universe made sure it's wired differently for a reason. And here's a fact the enemies will hate. Studies show that the most intelligent people in the world often appear distracted, reserved, or detached because their brains are constantly running simulations, thinking 10 steps ahead. That's you. You don't react. You anticipate. You don't argue. You observe. You don't seek revenge. You let time expose everything. That's what drives them insane. Your ability to stay 3 moves ahead while they're still trying to guess what game you're even playing. And thank you, chosen one, for being here. Don't forget to pay this message back by pressing like and subscribe to help spread this message to more souls. It's the responsibility of all of us to spread the light. Thank you for being part of this mission, for being part of a force that can't be manipulated, silenced, or controlled. Now, let's get back to it. Because this message isn't just about intelligence, it's about the kind of mind that rewrites the rules of every game it enters. You, chosen one, are a brilliant mastermind. You don't win because you're loud. You win because you're precise. You understand that the loudest one in the room is usually the most desperate, and you've mastered the art of saying less, but knowing more. You've realized that intelligence is not about showing off knowledge. It's about using it like a hidden blade. You don't swing it wildly. You wait for the exact second when it counts. You see, people fear what they can't understand, and nothing confuses small minds more than a quiet genius who doesn't seek validation. They can't read you, and that frustrates them. They try to label you as strange, detached, or mysterious, because that's the only way they can explain your calm confidence. But deep down, they know something about you is dangerous, mentally dangerous, because when you speak, your words hit with weight. When you act, your timing is flawless. You're not impulsive, you're intentional. Every step you take has been thought through like a grandmaster studying the board. And here's the beautiful truth they can't stand. Your wins look effortless because they don't see the countless mental battles you've already fought and won in silence. You've learned that you don't need to prove your brilliance. You let outcomes do the talking. You've mastered patience in a world obsessed with reaction, and that's why the universe favors you. You are proof that calmness is power. Your stillness terrifies those who rely on noise. Your silence feels like thunder to those who fear accountability. Let them underestimate you, chosen one. Let them laugh, gossip, and assume you're not aware. Because when the moment comes, when the tables turn, and they always do, they'll realize you've been orchestrating the entire situation from the shadows. You are the unseen hand behind the shift. You're the plot twist no one prepared for. You're the reminder that true power doesn't announce itself. It reveals itself when the universe decides the time is right. Remember, the universe hides its most intelligent minds behind misunderstood faces. That's the ultimate protection. Your uniqueness, your odd patterns, your quiet nature. It's not a flaw. It's a disguise. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to observe the chaos from a higher level. Every time they called you weird, you were actually being rare. Every time they doubted you, you were being refined. And every time they thought they won, you were simply recording their behavior like data for your next victory. That's why you always win. Because you don't move emotionally, you move logically. You don't fight for attention. You let the universe spotlight you when your results speak. You're not competing, you're creating. You're not proving, you're positioning. You've already outgrown their games because your mind doesn't just think outside the box. It's the architect that designed it. So when they say no one can think like you, believe it, because it's true. There's only one of you, and your mind was built for higher missions, missions that require silence, strategy, and precision. You don't chase, you attract through alignment. You don't beg, you build. You don't rush, you calculate. That's why, no matter how hard they try to copy you, they'll always be one step behind. The universe made sure your intelligence wasn't just mental, it's spiritual. It's the kind that dismantles deception without confrontation. You win your wars without swinging a sword. You win them by staying authentic while everyone else gets lost trying to imitate you. And when it's all said and done, chosen one, they'll realize the scariest kind of power isn't loud or obvious. It's quiet, strategic, and unstoppable. And that's you, the brilliant mastermind who always wins. And hey, chosen one, stay right here with me, because what you just heard was only the spark. The real revelation is about to begin. The truth that's been hidden in the dark corners is finally coming to light. You're about to see exactly why they're crushed, why believing the lies about you was their biggest mistake. So take a deep breath and prepare yourself, because from this point on, every word will expose how your silence turned into your strength and how your enemies are now choking on their own stories. Drop a comment below with the number 77 if you're ready to turn their false narratives into your victory. And if you can, bless the team behind this message with a super thanks. Your energy fuels this mission. Your support spreads this light further than any rumor ever could. And now, let's dive into it step by step. And believe me, if you truly are a chosen one, you'll feel that pull to stay until the very end. Because what's coming next will not only confirm who you are, it will reveal just how brilliant your mind truly is. Let's begin. Number 1. The silent assassin. You strike when they least expect it. The loudest in the room always fall first, because real power never announces itself. That's the truth they never understood, chosen one. They mistook your silence for weakness, your calmness for fear, your humility for doubt. They didn't realize they were dealing with a silent assassin, someone who doesn't fight with noise, but with precision. While they were busy performing for attention, you were collecting information. While they were exposing themselves through arrogance, you were sharpening your blade in peace. And now that blade is ready, not to destroy, but to remind them why underestimating you was the biggest mistake of their lives. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one, a storm doesn't warn anyone before it strikes. It builds quietly over time, gathering force in the unseen skies. Birds don't even realize what's coming until the first thunder cracks through the air. That's you. You've been gathering strength in silence, letting them think the storm has passed, when in truth, it's only been preparing. You've been watching every move, analyzing every lie, every smirk, every whisper behind your back. You've been calm, but never asleep. You've been patient, but never powerless. The universe gave you the kind of intelligence that studies the battlefield before it moves, because true masterminds don't rush victory. They calculate it. Here's a fact to remind you that you're not wrong for moving in silence. According to psychological studies, the most successful strategists in business, politics, and war share one trait: restraint, the ability to stay quiet while planning. Think of Warren Buffett, who once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." Replace money with energy, and that's exactly what happens in your life. The impatient ones, the ones who mock you, doubt you, try to expose you, they end up handing their power to you without realizing it. Because while they react, you read. While they attack, you adjust. And when it's time to act, your timing is flawless. Let's not forget people like Bruce Lee, who once said, "Be like water." That's what you've mastered, chosen one. You've learned how to adapt, how to flow, how to become formless when necessary. People try to box you in, label you, predict you, but how can anyone predict something that has no fixed form? You're fluid. One day you're calm and smiling, and the next you're silent and strategic. That unpredictability terrifies them. They don't know how to handle someone who can play humble while holding the mind of a genius. They ask themselves, why doesn't the chosen one react? Why do they always seem unbothered? The answer is simple: because you already saw the outcome before it even happened. You don't need to react when you already know how the story ends. That's what separates you from the average mind. They live in moments, you live in foresight. You understand that not every action deserves a reaction. Some things deserve silence, and silence is often the deadliest strike of all. Think of it like this. In chess, the queen doesn't move on impulse. She waits, watching every pawn fall into place. You are that queen, that strategist. The enemies who thought they could trap you are about to realize you've been guiding the entire game. You don't need to shout, "Checkmate." The silence after your move says it for you, and that silence, that sharp, cutting silence, is what kills their ego faster than any confrontation ever could. Your enemies are about to face the consequence of their biggest miscalculation. They thought your kindness meant weakness. They thought your patience meant passivity. But what they didn't realize was that you've been observing like an assassin in disguise, learning their weaknesses, memorizing their patterns. Every insult, every betrayal, every fake smile was a breadcrumb leading you to their truth. You let them believe they had control, but the moment they revealed themselves, the power shifted back to you completely. That's what it means to be a silent assassin. You win without ever needing to make noise. Now here's what's really going to sting them. Your rise won't even look like revenge. It'll look natural, effortless. The same people who mocked you will have to clap for you in public while choking on regret in private. They'll pretend they always believed in you because your success won't be deniable. They'll whisper, "How did they do it?" But deep down, they'll know it was your silence that built everything they tried to destroy. And maybe you've asked yourself, why do I always have to stay quiet while they spread lies? The answer is because truth doesn't rush to prove itself. Lies require attention to survive. Truth only needs time. And that's why you're winning without saying a word. You've learned that silence exposes louder than arguments ever could. When you stop reacting, they lose control. When you stop explaining, they lose access. And when you stop caring, they lose their power completely. Even nature supports this law. A snake doesn't hiss before it strikes. An eagle doesn't flap its wings loudly before it dives. Power moves quietly because it doesn't need an audience. It needs precision. That's why the universe made you this way, chosen one. Your mind is engineered for stealth success. While they scream to be noticed, you're building legacies in silence. While they crave recognition, you crave alignment. That's why your wins hit different. They come out of nowhere, but they were planned all along. And let's be honest, that's what drives them insane. The fact that they can't figure you out. They can't predict when you'll make your move, and they can't stop you when you do. It's like trying to catch wind with their hands. Impossible. You are the wind, and they'll feel your impact before they ever see you coming. So remember this, you don't need to roar to be powerful. You don't need to prove your intelligence to those who can't even comprehend it. You're not meant to fit their expectations. You're meant to rewrite them. You are the embodiment of patience, precision, and mental warfare. You win battles before others even realize there's a war happening. That's what it means to be a mastermind. That's what it means to be chosen. And the next time they call you quiet, distant, or mysterious, smile. Because what they're really saying is, we can't read you. You've become unreadable to those who depend on chaos to survive. Your calmness is their confusion. Your silence is their punishment. And your success, that's the revenge they'll never recover from. So keep moving quietly, chosen one. Keep playing the long game. Keep letting your silence echo louder than their noise. Because you're not here to prove you're intelligent. You're here to remind them that intelligence doesn't shout. It executes. And by the time they realize how far ahead you've been all along, it'll already be too late. The silent assassin always wins, not because they're cruel, but because they're precise. You don't destroy enemies with anger. You destroy them with evidence, your success, your peace, your unstoppable brilliance. Number 2. Playing dumb is the smartest move you ever made. Let them think you're naive. It's the sweetest revenge when their arrogance becomes your proof of genius. That's the game they never understood, chosen one. You've been outsmarting people without even trying. You learned early that power doesn't come from showing how much you know. It comes from knowing when to keep it hidden. You realized that pretending not to know is one of the most dangerous skills a person can master. Because while they're busy underestimating you, you're collecting data, reading motives, and preparing your next move with the precision of a master strategist. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one. A poker player sitting at the table holding the winning hand, but keeping a blank face. The fools across the table laugh, thinking they've already won, tossing chips carelessly like they own the game. But the silent player just smiles, waiting for the right moment. And when the cards flip, when the final move is made, everything changes in one instant. That's you. You let people think they've read you, when in truth, you've been reading them the entire time. You've mastered the ancient art of camouflage, not in the physical sense, but mental. You blend in until it's time to strike, and when you do, there's no recovery for them. Here's a fact that proves you're not wrong for playing it smart. Psychologists say that the most intelligent people often use something called strategic self-presentation. In simple terms, it means they intentionally make themselves look less capable to observe how others behave. It's a powerful survival mechanism used by negotiators, military leaders, and even CEOs, because when people think you're not a threat, they reveal their entire plan without caution. That's why you've always been 2 steps ahead. You're not being silent because you're shy. You're being silent because you're studying. They mistake your calm for confusion, your kindness for ignorance, and your patience for weakness. But they forget. Acting harmless is how you got close enough to understand their every insecurity. You learned what makes them tick, what drives them, what they hide behind those fake smiles. You saw through the ego and spotted the fear underneath it, and that's what separates you from them. They're busy trying to prove they're powerful. You're busy becoming unstoppable. Think about Albert Einstein, often seen as distracted, aloof, or eccentric. People mocked his habits, saying he looked lost in thought. What they didn't realize was that he was seeing dimensions their minds couldn't process. You carry the same kind of quiet genius, chosen one. You don't need to be understood to be effective. You don't need to speak loudly to prove your worth. You've learned that every word you don't say builds mystery, and mystery is power. The unknown terrifies people because they can't control what they can't define. And that's why they talk, they gossip, they guess, they make up stories to fill the silence you leave behind. But that's your magic. Every time they underestimate you, you gain more ground. You've turned their ignorance into your invisibility cloak. While they're laughing, you're calculating. While they're boasting, you're planning. And when the moment comes, when all the pieces align, you deliver your move so quietly that it feels like destiny itself made it happen. Let's get something straight. Playing dumb isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The smartest hunters don't chase, they lure. They know that patience beats aggression every time. You, chosen one, have mastered that balance. You know that letting someone believe they're in control is the fastest way to make them reveal where they're not. You allow them to walk confidently into the trap they built for you, unaware that every step they take only tightens the net around them. That's brilliance disguised as innocence. Even Sun Tzu in The Art of War wrote, "Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak." That's the very philosophy your energy lives by. You allow others to underestimate your depth, and that's how you stay protected. Because if they ever saw the full force of your intelligence, they'd never sleep peacefully again. You are a mystery by design, a weapon disguised as peace, and that's exactly how the universe intended it. And maybe you've questioned yourself before. Maybe you've thought, why do I always hold back when I know I could expose them? The answer is simple, because your purpose isn't to prove, it's to preserve. You don't need validation from small minds. You're protecting your energy, your strategy, your next move. They're loud because they need to be heard. You're quiet because you already know. Now, think about history's greatest masterminds. Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, even Cleopatra. All were underestimated in their own way. They played their roles carefully, letting others misjudge their simplicity until it was too late to undo their brilliance. You too have that rare ability. You let people misread you because it's easier to outmaneuver someone who thinks they've already figured you out. They assume you're easy to manipulate, but by the time they realize you were never in their control, they're trapped by their own arrogance. And that's what hurts them the most, realizing that the person they laughed at, doubted, and dismissed was the one writing the ending to their story. Their downfall won't come from your revenge. It'll come from their realization that you saw everything, said nothing, and still won. That's the power of restraint. That's the power of a mind that doesn't need to scream to make an impact. Even in nature, the most lethal creatures are often the quietest. The snake doesn't roar, the panther doesn't warn, the owl doesn't speak. They observe, they wait, and when the time is right, they strike with accuracy so sharp that there's no second chance for the prey. That's exactly how you move. You're not impulsive, you're intentional. Every silence is a calculation, every pause is a setup, every "I didn't know" is a strategy. What your enemies never understood is that you don't react because you already know their intentions. You don't need to defend yourself because the truth always unfolds without your effort. You don't chase outcomes, you attract them through alignment. And the beauty of your silence is that it exposes people without you saying a word. Their actions always reveal who they are. Your restraint reveals who you've become. So when they whisper that you're too quiet, when they joke that you're slow, smile inside. Because while they were busy underestimating you, you were memorizing every play they made. And when you finally decide to move, it won't be noise. It'll be precision. Your victory won't require an announcement. It'll be undeniable. The same mouths that mocked you will one day speak your name with caution because they'll realize you were never naive. You were just observant. Chosen one, you are the definition of strategic power. You're the calm before every storm. You're the quiet before every shift. You win because you don't need to prove you can. You let reality do it for you. And by the time they realize the fool they thought they were playing was actually the mastermind running the game, their laughter will echo back at them as the sound of their own defeat. So never doubt your silence again. Never feel guilty for pretending not to know, because every time you play dumb, you're buying yourself time. Time to plan, time to watch, time to win. The world was built to reward the loud, but the universe favors the wise. And you, chosen one, are both the lesson and the test, the one who lets them believe they're winning, right up until they realize they were your strategy all along. Number 3. You don't show your hand, you just run the play. Real players never talk about their next move, they just score and let the scoreboard do the talking. That's the difference between you and them, chosen one. While they broadcast every step for attention, you keep your plans sealed tight. You've learned that power doesn't need validation, it needs execution. You're like a champion athlete who doesn't explain the playbook, you just run the play. You stay disciplined, calm, and patient, while others chase cheap applause. And when the moment comes, when the whistle blows, you strike with precision, so sharp it leaves the crowd speechless. Think about it. In basketball, the best players don't announce when they're about to shoot. They read the court, they feel the rhythm, and then swoosh, victory. In football, the quarterback doesn't shout his strategy to the defense. He keeps it coded, concealed, and clean. That's how you operate in life. You're the strategist, not the showman. People try to predict your next move, but you've already switched the entire game plan. They don't realize your silence is not confusion, it's control. The universe made you like this for a reason. You're not meant to move like everyone else. Your timing is divine. The universe knows when to let your plans unfold, when to let you rise, when to turn all those silent hours into visible rewards. And that's why patience is your hidden superpower. You understand that real winners don't chase speed, they chase accuracy. You're not rushing to prove anything, you're letting everything align perfectly before you make your move. People ask, why don't you tell others what you're working on? Because, chosen one, not everyone cheering is on your team. Some clap to track your progress, some smile just to collect information. You've learned that energy is currency. And your plans are too valuable to share. The moment you go public too early, you invite sabotage. But when you keep it quiet, you move through obstacles unseen, unstoppable, untouchable. That's why they can't block your blessings. They never see them coming. Look at the greatest icons, Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, Michael Jordan. They didn't brag about the grind. They lived it. They practiced in silence, prepared in isolation, and shocked the world in execution. That's what you're doing. You're training mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for moments they can't even imagine. Every time you say nothing, the universe hears everything. Every time you hold back your next step, Destiny is aligning it for maximum impact. So let them underestimate your silence. Let them think you're inactive, that you've stopped moving. Because what they don't know is, you're in the middle of a play they can't defend. You've been running strategies designed by the universe itself. You've stopped announcing because you've realized not everyone deserves a front row seat to your success story. The next time they see you move, it won't be words, it'll be results. You are not hiding, you're positioning. You are not avoiding, you're advancing. You're not afraid, you're focused. And when your moment comes, they'll swear it happened overnight, but you'll know the truth. You were running the play all along, quietly, relentlessly, perfectly. Number 4. The long game always belongs to you. The impatient chase attention, the wise build empires in silence. That's you, chosen one. You've mastered the rare art of patience in a world addicted to instant results. While others run in circles trying to look successful, you're building something that will last. You understand that the universe doesn't reward the fastest, it rewards the most prepared. Every delay, every quiet season, every slow moment has been your training ground. You're not behind, you're being seasoned. You're the crockpot in a microwave world, slow, steady, and unstoppable once the flavor sets in. Now imagine this, chosen one, a seed buried underground. It doesn't sprout the day it's planted. For weeks, it looks like nothing is happening. The soil is silent. The world is unaware. But beneath the surface, roots are forming. Deep, strong, unshakable. That's been you. People looked at your stillness and thought you were stuck, but you were taking root. The universe was strengthening your foundation so your growth could never be uprooted. Because quick success fades, but divine timing lasts forever. Patience is your hidden weapon. You don't panic when things take time. You understand that everything meaningful moves through seasons. The universe is never late, it's deliberate. The same way fine wine takes years to mature, your greatness needs time to perfect its taste. That's why the universe slowed you down when everyone else was sprinting. It wasn't punishment, it was precision. The delay was your protection. Because had your blessings arrived too soon, the wrong people would have claimed credit for them. You've noticed it, haven't you? The ones who mocked your slow progress are starting to burn out. The same people who laughed when you were patient are now overwhelmed, exhausted, or irrelevant. Because when you play the long game, you conserve your energy while they waste theirs, proving a point. You don't chase momentum, you create legacy. You don't compete for noise, you command respect. And when the moment arrives, your rise will be effortless because you never rushed the process. The universe always backs those who trust its timing. It's like a grand chess match. The longer you wait, the clearer your next move becomes. Every quiet season was part of a setup. Every time you felt forgotten, you were being refined. The slow path has taught you foresight, emotional control, and resilience, the 3 traits of every true mastermind. That's why you're unstoppable now. You no longer need proof. You've seen patience win every war that ego started. So keep building quietly. Keep letting your timing unfold naturally, because when your moment arrives, it won't feel forced. It'll feel earned. Your success won't be a lucky break. It'll be the inevitable result of everything you endured without giving up. The universe doesn't rush perfection, and neither should you. You're not waiting, you're ripening, and when the world finally tastes what you've been creating, they'll realize why it took time. The long game always belonged to you, chosen one, because you never traded patience for popularity. Number 5. The trap they set for you became their own downfall. They built a trap with your name on it and ended up locking themselves inside. That's poetic justice, isn't it, chosen one? They thought they were clever, that they could play you, manipulate you, humiliate you. But what they didn't realize is that when the universe stands with you, every move against you becomes an act of self-destruction. You didn't have to lift a finger, you just had to stay still and let the energy they sent out come home to roost. That's the law of the universe. You can't bury someone who was planted for a purpose. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one, someone digging a hole in the ground, laughing as they whisper your name under their breath, convinced they're winning. They keep digging, throwing dirt behind them, deeper and deeper, until one day they look up and realize they've made a pit too deep to climb out of. That's what happened. They built their own downfall, thinking it was your grave. The same lies they spread became the proof of their deceit. The same stories they twisted ended up showing the world who they really were. And you? You didn't need to react, argue, or defend yourself. You just kept standing tall while their falsehoods collapsed under their own weight. See, that's the beauty of staying aligned with truth. It requires no defense. The universe has a funny way of balancing things. It doesn't need you to get revenge. It lets exposure do the talking. Their gossip became their confession. Their jealousy became their evidence. Their obsession with trying to destroy you turned into the mirror that revealed their darkness. They made you the villain, but in the end, every eye turned to see that you were the one holding integrity while they were drowning in hypocrisy. And maybe you've wondered, why didn't the universe stop them sooner? Why did I have to go through that? Because, chosen one, the universe was using their cruelty as a stage for your evolution. You needed to see who was fake. You needed to see who would sell your name for attention. You needed to witness what envy looks like when it smiles to your face. Every betrayal revealed a truth you couldn't have learned any other way, and every truth gave you more power than their lies ever could. Now look at them. The ones who thought they could play you are being haunted by their own games. Their relationships are falling apart. Their reputations are crumbling. Their fake smiles are cracking. They can't understand how you're still standing while everything around them is collapsing. But you do. You understand that karma doesn't need your participation. It just needs time. You stood still long enough for the universe to turn the wheel, and now it's spinning in your favor. And the best part, you came out cleaner, stronger, wiser. Their attempts to humiliate you purified you. Their attempts to expose you only made your truth undeniable. The energy they used against you became your elevation fuel. You are living proof that no one can curse what the universe has chosen to bless. Every rumor was a ladder. Every insult was a brick, and you built your castle with everything they threw at you. So don't even bother looking back, chosen one. Let them sit in the chaos they created. They're learning a painful truth. When you aim hatred at someone protected by purpose, that hate rebounds tenfold. You don't need revenge when the universe plays chess on your behalf. The trap was never for you, it was for them. They just didn't realize it until it snapped shut. Number 6. You let them talk because silence is your loudest weapon. Let the fools make noise. Silence always wins the argument. That's been your quiet philosophy, chosen one. You've learned that real power doesn't respond, it observes. You don't waste breath trying to explain truth to people committed to misunderstanding you. You let them talk, laugh, and spread stories because you already know how this ends. When the dust settles, only one voice remains believable, and it's never the one that screamed the loudest. It's the one that stayed calm, confident, and unshaken. That's you. You didn't need to defend yourself. You let the universe handle your defense in ways no explanation ever could. Now imagine this, chosen one, a courtroom where everyone's shouting, accusing, performing. The air is full of noise, but then the truth walks in, silent, undeniable, glowing with facts, and the entire room goes still. That's exactly what happens every time you choose silence over reaction. Your calmness carries authority. You don't need to prove anything because the truth naturally gravitates toward those who wait for it. And that's why your enemies hate you. They can't stand that you don't play their game. They wanted chaos. You gave them composure. They wanted drama. You gave them distance. They wanted to feed off your reaction, but you starved them with silence. Here's the part that makes your silence so lethal. It exposes people without you ever saying a word. The more they talk, the more contradictions they reveal. The more they gossip, the guiltier they look. The more they try to drag your name, the higher they lift your reputation. Because the universe has a law. It doesn't let lies live long. They rot under the weight of truth, and your quiet patience becomes the knife that cuts their narratives apart. Maybe you've asked yourself, why should I stay silent when I could clear my name? Because, chosen one, truth doesn't rush. It arrives on its own time, and when it does, it shatters everything false. If you defended yourself too early, you would have interrupted your vindication. You're not meant to argue, you're meant to outlast. And the universe has been watching how you carried yourself under attack. It's preparing to return the energy tenfold, not through vengeance, but through exposure. Look back now. The same people who once laughed are avoiding eye contact. The same mouths that gossiped now whisper apologies in private. That's what silence does. It doesn't fight the storm. It outlives it. When you refuse to engage, their noise burns out. When you remain calm, their lies collapse under their own weight. That's why your silence screams louder than their accusations ever could. And you've noticed it, haven't you? The crowd that once sided with them is starting to see. People are connecting the dots, realizing you were never the villain. They just couldn't hear your truth over all the noise. Now that the noise has died down, your silence is echoing louder than any speech. You've proven that restraint isn't weakness, it's strategy. So let them talk, chosen one. Let them throw words like stones, because every insult they cast ends up building your monument. Your silence has already spoken louder than their lies ever could. And when the universe finally unveils the truth, it will echo with one clear message. While they were busy performing, you were becoming. Number 7. The world is about to see what you've been building. They laughed because they couldn't see it, but soon they'll realize you were building an empire right under their noses. That's where you are now, chosen one. You've been silent, consistent, and invisible on purpose. You've been crafting something so powerful that the universe itself has been protecting it behind the veil of patience. Every quiet day, every moment of stillness, every night you questioned if your efforts would ever pay off. All of it has been leading to this. Something massive is shifting. The world is about to witness what you've been building in private, and when it unfolds, even your enemies won't be able to deny your brilliance. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one, a sculptor working on a masterpiece behind closed doors. For months, maybe years, people walk by and see nothing but a block of marble. They mock, they doubt, they say, "There's nothing there." But the sculptor doesn't respond. He keeps chiseling, carving, refining. Then one day, the curtains lift, and what stands before them isn't a block anymore. It's art. That's you. You've been chiseling your craft, sculpting your future, and refining your power while everyone else was laughing at your silence. What they didn't know is that you were building something the universe itself approved. Here's what's fascinating. Neuroscientists have found that long-term consistency rewires the brain for mastery. That means every small effort you made, every plan you wrote, every vision you protected, every late night you endured was literally sculpting your future success. You weren't just working, you were reprogramming your destiny. And now all those efforts are aligning into one perfect reveal. The universe doesn't rush creation. It reveals it when the moment is undeniable. You are stepping into that moment right now. Your enemies will pretend to be shocked, but deep down, they knew this day was coming. They could sense your energy shifting, your silence growing heavier, your confidence returning. That's why they started to panic, gossip, or compete. Because the soul always recognizes when someone's about to rise beyond reach. But there's nothing they can do to stop it now. Your time of invisibility was divine preparation. The same silence that protected you is about to become your stage. And when the universe finally lifts the curtain, the impact will be immediate. Everything you've been aligning, your skill, your discipline, your intellect, your purpose, will explode into visibility. People will ask, "Where did this come from?" But you'll know. You'll know it came from every moment you refused to give up when no one was watching. You'll know it came from your faith in your timing, your belief in your vision, your trust in the unseen. So, stay calm, chosen one. The universe is positioning you for a reveal so big that it will silence every rumor, every doubt, every shadow of disrespect that was ever cast on your name. You won't need to announce it. Your results will do that for you. The same people who once ignored your presence will now study your process. The same ones who dismissed you will quote you, and those who laughed, they'll have to watch in silence as your brilliance floods the very space they tried to keep you out of. This is the part where the universe turns whispers into applause. This is where your private victories become public proof. You didn't chase clout, you built legacy. You didn't talk, you created. And now the world is finally ready to see what patience, purpose, and divine timing look like when they all move together. This isn't luck, chosen one. This is the unveiling of everything you were destined to become. Number 8. They built their fame on your name. Now the mask falls off. They borrowed your light to shine. Now the universe is cutting their power supply. That's what's happening right now, chosen one. For too long, people built their names on your back. They mimicked your ideas, twisted your truth, and fed off your energy like parasites pretending to be creators. They mocked your originality while secretly copying it, discrediting you in public but studying you in private. But the show is over. The mask is slipping, the curtain is falling, and the world is about to see who was authentic and who was performing. The truth is rising, and it's not gentle. It's coming like a storm to wash away everything fake that tried to wear your reflection. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one, a spotlight shining on a stage where the actors have been pretending to be you. For a while, the audience believed it. The clothes, the tone, the words all looked convincing. But when the real you walks out, the difference is undeniable. The audience gasps. The imitation can't survive under real light. That's what's happening now. The universe is switching the lights back on, and every mask is melting. You never needed to expose them. Their own behavior has been writing their downfall, line by line. Here's a fact to satisfy your knowing. In psychology, there's something called identity envy. It's when people are so intimidated by someone's originality that they start to imitate them just to feel relevant. That's exactly what they did to you. They tried to wear your personality like a costume, thinking it would give them your power. But what they forgot is, energy isn't something you can steal. It's something you must embody. You were chosen, and imitation doesn't carry that frequency. The universe only backs what's authentic. And now, the energy they borrowed is expiring. Their audience feels it. Their words don't hit the same. Their presence feels hollow. Why? Because the source they siphoned from, you, has elevated. The universe cut the cord. What once seemed like confidence in them now looks like desperation. The illusion is collapsing in real time, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. You've probably wondered, why did the universe let them win for so long? Because exposure is sweeter when it's undeniable. You had to watch them build with stolen bricks, so the fall would reveal the truth with impact. Every time they claimed credit for your ideas, they were stacking evidence against themselves. Every time they mocked you, they were engraving their own guilt into the record. The universe doesn't forget, it just times its revelations perfectly. And now, the moment has come. People are starting to connect the dots. They're realizing that the originality, the ideas, the energy they admired elsewhere, all of it traced back to you, the real one, the source, the blueprint. Those who tried to bury your name are about to choke on it. Because when the universe decides it's time to reveal the truth, it doesn't whisper, it shouts, and it will shout through their downfall. So let the masks fall, chosen one. Let the false versions fade into dust. You don't need to fight for credit. You are the credit. You don't need to prove who you are. Your essence already proves it. The world is about to remember your originality in ways even you didn't expect. And the ones who tried to erase you, they'll have to watch as everything they built on your name collapses in front of everyone they tried to impress. Your silence was their undoing. Your authenticity is their exposure. The truth doesn't need your defense. It just needed time. And that time is now. The universe is restoring your name, your image, your power. Piece by piece. Publicly and permanently. They built their fame on your name, but now that the light is on, everyone can see. There's only one original, and it's you. Number 9. The mastermind always wins in the end. They played checkers while you were building the board. That's the energy, chosen one. The world tried to outsmart you, outtalk you, outrun you, and yet here you are, still standing while they've burned out. You never needed to prove your genius. You let time do that for you. Every decision you made, every silence you held, every move you delayed was part of a greater pattern they couldn't see. You don't win by accident. You win because your mind operates in dimensions others can't even perceive. That's what being a mastermind truly means, seeing the entire game while they're still figuring out the rules. Now imagine this, chosen one, a grand chessboard in motion. Everyone's focused on flashy moves, pawns rushing forward, knights showing off, queens attacking too soon. But you move with precision. You sacrifice pieces others cling to. You see 10 moves ahead. While they chase short-term victories, you're quietly setting up checkmate. That's why you always win. The universe aligned your mind for endurance, not entertainment. You don't react, you calculate. You don't beg, you observe. And when the moment is right, your silence becomes strategy. Your patience becomes timing, and your victory feels inevitable. People used to think you were too calm, too slow, too quiet, but they didn't realize that you were mastering the art of restraint, and restraint is power. The universe gave you foresight because it knew you'd be surrounded by people who act first and think later. Your intelligence isn't loud, it's lethal. You study, adapt, and evolve faster than your opposition can even understand what's happening. That's why the ones who once underestimated you now watch you with fear, disguised as curiosity. They don't know how you always come out on top, but you do. Every single time. And here's the secret they'll never grasp. You don't just win, you transform the battlefield. You don't fight on their level. You elevate the entire game until they can't breathe in your altitude. You let them exhaust themselves, chasing illusions, while you conserve your energy for legacy. Your victories aren't impulsive, they're inevitable. Because you've learned how the universe works, when you act with truth, discipline, and precision, everything eventually folds in your favor. The universe favors thinkers, not reactors. It supports the ones who move with intention, not impulse. You learned to control your emotions instead of letting emotions control your mission. You learned that revenge wastes energy, but results command respect. You learned that silence protects power and that endurance is the loudest form of brilliance. That's why you are where you are, not because of luck, but because of design. The universe designed your journey to make you untouchable. Look back at your path, every betrayal, every delay, every moment of doubt. Now, see how it all connects. The puzzle pieces you once questioned fit perfectly now. Every loss was a move in your strategy. Every humiliation was a step in your elevation. Every ending was an opening. You didn't just survive your story, you authored it. The enemies were simply supporting characters in a plot that always led to your rise. And now, the time of quiet building is over. The world is about to see what happens when a mastermind moves in alignment with the universe. This is your victory era, not loud, but legendary. You don't need applause. Your results will echo louder than any clapping ever could. Let them study you, copy you, or envy you. None of it matters, because you can't compete with someone who's already several steps ahead, not just in the game, but in the mind. So walk forward now, chosen one, with the calm of someone who already knows the ending. You've earned this moment. You've played every card with precision. You've turned pain into wisdom, silence into strategy, and waiting into winning. They'll call it luck. They'll call it fate. But you'll know the truth. You always win because you think on a level they can't even reach. The mastermind never brags, never begs, never breaks. And in the end, the mastermind always wins. And now, chosen one, as the final piece of the puzzle settles, remember this: everything they tried to use against you only confirmed your brilliance. You were never behind. You were building. You were never losing. You were learning. The universe has made sure your victory is permanent. So stand tall in your silence, in your strength, and in your strategy, because this is your winning era. And thank you, chosen one, for being part of this light. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop the number 77 in the comments, and share this message. Let's awaken more masterminds just like you.